It's thank you. It's a little bit difficult to express myself right now. I'm a bit excited and extremely humble and extremely thankful to be amongst yourself tonight one more time. And I don't believe in coincidences. The thing is that last time I was here, that was during the birthday of an Imam. Today again I'm here during the birthday of our Imam, Imam Ali this time. Alright, please give me a salawat for
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
There is no doubt that Mawla was born within the boundary, within the norms of Kaaba itself. I want to give you a thought before I continue. The floor of Kaaba itself, it's approximately 6 feet higher than the ground. At that particular time when Bibi Fatma bint Asad approached the Kaaba, which came down, did the Kaaba descended for her or the ground elevated for her? I want to leave you this thought. All right. Okay, so I want to one more time thank you especially for you for coming and setting this stage for me. And please do remember in one of the verses he mentioned about the Zulfiqar, and also he mentioned about that for one period of time Mawla never touched the Zulfiqar, so that's going to come in. And I did not know that you're going to come up with that verse. I did not know that. Okay, so one more time I want to thank you everybody, and thank you for Brother Ali Abbas, my special guest, and thank you everybody for coming. Let me introduce myself. My name is Munis Rizvi, and I am my mother's son. So that's correct.
Oh, you're not a test tube baby?
No, I wasn't. Okay, so let's start. The thing I was about to, I'm going to tell you approximately that my session will continue for like 45 minutes, something like that, maybe a little bit less, and that I will explain a little bit about Amir al-Mu'mineen. For the next 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, I will talk a little bit about symbolism, different things. And then there will be a question and answer. If I could answer your questions, I'll be happy to. Let me grab something. Let me grab my glass of water from there, because originally I was supposed to be here. So, a little bit technical setback, and I know that the water is warm because I got it myself. So, I'll make this. Okay, everybody, please give me a salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
And my 45 minutes only starts now. It wasn't before that. Okay, Allah, by the, do I have your permission to start the session?
Oh, sure.
Thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the creator of universe and heavens and everything in between. And all praise be upon thy prophet, the city of knowledge, the master of ascension, the grandfather to Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain alayhi salam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
The holy prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
I'm going to go a little bit fast now, and maybe if you want to take notes on your cell phone or something like that, and you can ask me the things, because my sessions are truly out there. So thank you again for giving me the first opportunity to come in front of you. Allah has sent like over 100,000 messengers, prophets. The essence of the message is similar. That people should believe in a higher power. Tawheed. Allah is only one. To facilitate the message, each prophet was given a trait, a miracle, awarded a miracle according to the traits of the time. I'm going to give you an example. Prophet Musa. During the time of Prophet Musa, there was a lot of wizardry going on, and those people were into wizardry and magic and all that. So, Prophet Musa was given the staff. Prophet Isa. Time came about Prophet Isa. At that time, there was a lot of. They used to think that they had made much advances in medicine. Prophet Isa was given the miracle of cure. He was able to cure the uncurables. He was even able to revive the dead to life. These were the miracles that were given to him. Once the time came for Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that particular period is called period of Jahiliyyah, or the period of Jahalat. At that time, these Arab Jahil nomads, they were proud upon not one, but two things. One was they used to think themselves as the best military commanders and the best swordsmen. And the second was their poetry. Thank you, Sardar. Thank you. The miracle which was awarded to Prophet Muhammad, the name of the miracle is Amirul Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib. Let's take a look at the two traits which those Jahil nomads had. First one, swordsmen, military commanders. Who would you say is the best military commander in history? Anyone come up with some names?
Julius Caesar?
No? Thank you though. Oh, thank you very much, son. That's good. Anyone else?
Alexander.
Alexander. Alexander the Great, no.
Genghis Khan.
Very close.
Ahsoka?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, son. That's very close. The best military commander accepted by every military historian in the world is Subutai. Subutai. Subutai was the military commander for Genghis Khan and later on his son Ogadai Khan. Let's take a look very, very quickly about Subutai. 73 years of age. Out of these 73 years, he had approximately 20 military engagements. In those 20 military engagements, was Subutai ever defeated? Yes, he was. Was Subutai, did he have to ever had a military retreat? Yes. Was there bounty of war involved? Yes. Subutai did that. One of the things is that was there collateral damage. Collateral damage is the innocent people who are murdered in the act of war. Absolutely. Let's take a look at Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam, the miracle which was given to the Prophet. 60 years of age. Out of the 60 years, again I'm going to come to Brother Abbas's, that's what he said. Out of the 60 years, the first 1, 2, and 3 caliphs reign was 25 years. For 25 years, Mawla never was involved in any military engagement. So 60 minus 25 is 35 years. So half of the age of Subutai. But in those half age, like 35 years time, Mawla was also involved in approximately 20 military engagements. Out of that, 7 were classic battles. Was Mawla Amirul Mu'minin alayhi salam ever defeated? Never. Did he ever withdrew from a battle? No. He did not. Above all, did Subutai ever fought alone in a battle, in a military engagement? Never. Subutai always fought along with the troop. Did Mawla ever fought alone in battles? Yes, he did. Against full armies, he did. Never. Was there ever collateral damage? Never. Nobody can say that some innocent people were caught in the middle and Mawla executed them. Never. And I've got more things to say. Mawla never chased anybody. whosoever came in front of Mullah and fought, he was divided into two equal parts horizontally. Did Subatai ever have that? No. So who would you say is the best military commander in history? Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam. Let's take the second thing which these Arabs were proud of. Their poetry. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Please count with me. This is a verse from Amir al-Mu'minin's poetry. Ilahi, qalbi ma'jub, wa nafsi ma'jub, wa aqli maghlub, wa hawai ghalib, wa ta'ati qalil, wa masiyati kasir, wa nisani muqarrib bizzunub, fa kayfa hilati, ya allamul ghuyub, wa ya ghaffar az-zunub, wa ya kashif al-kurub. Ikfir zunubi kullaha. Give me a salawat, please. I'm going to come back to Mawla's poetry in one moment. In some other of my earlier sessions, I described the importance of number 9. This whole universe is based on mathematics, and the key digit to that is number 9. Mawla divided his poetry into 3, 3, and 3. 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9. Did he do that for the love of his wife? I don't know. Or was there a deeper meaning? I don't know. So let's see what Mawla says. On the first part, there are certain things which are a part of body, yet they are above the body. They are not confined within the realms. For example, soul. Soul is part of us, but it is not confined within the realms of the body. Similarly, Mawla says in the first part, qalbi mahjub, which means that the vessel, my vessel, is not wide enough to receive the knowledge which Allah has created. 2. Nafsi mayu. Nafs is something within us, yet not a part of us. It's a long discussion, but nafs, my nafs, myself, is not perfect. The third, aqli maghlub. My thinking is not so great. That's the first part. Come to the middle. These things which are above the body, how are they affecting our daily lives? Ta'ati qalil. If I do not have that much knowledge within me, I am pretty much not exactly jahil, but getting close to that, which means that I am disobedient to the laws which Allah has set. So the second part, aqli maghlub. So second part is nafsi maghlub, and second is, where is it? The sin. That if my nafs is not so confident, so which means that I am involved in everyday sins. The third, lisani muqarrib bizzunub, which means that if my thinking is not so good, my tongue is moving in the direction where it should not go. That's why you say that the person who's wise thinks about before speaking. So these are the things which affects everyday lives. The third part Mawla comes back to is to ask Allah for forgiveness because of the three. So in the first part, on the first part he says about muqarrib bizzunub, which means that you know allamul ghuyub, which means that you know what's going to happen tomorrow. So because of me not being obedient to you, you save me. Ghaffar az-zunub, if I am committing sins, then you are the only one who's Ghaffar. Ghaffar means forgiver. Kashif al-Qulub, which means that the things which I am saying, which I'm not supposed to say, is you are the one who will forgive me. So these are the things about Maula's poetry a little bit. Now let's examine a little bit more into this, what he's talking about. As I said to you about number 9, there is an art which is called gematria, in which words are denoted by numbers. I'm going to say an ayat in front of you, and I want you guys to tell me the numbers for that. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. 786, thank you. So in gematria, you compress all of this into one number. The top part of Maula's poetry, in which he is talking about the soul and the things which are beyond the control of the body, beyond the realms of the body, the digits are 9. In the center part, once Shaitan was being chased out from the heavens, Shaitan promised that Allah, I'm going to attack from every direction. Directions are 6. Up, down, right, left, front, back. The center part of Maula's poetry, if you translate that into digits, the digits comes to 6. Tell me something. From Adam to the last human being, from Nuri to Haki, who is the one person who is the best source of asking for forgiveness from God? Imam Hussain alayhi salam. In the succession, Imam Hussein's name number is 3. Come down to the last part of Maula's poetry, where you are asking forgiveness from Allah for all whatever you are doing. The digits are translated 3. So please count with me.
9.
First part, number 9. Second part, 6. Third part, 3. 9 plus 6,
15.
15 plus 3, 18. 1 plus 8 is 9.
Oh.
So that's the depth of just a few verses of Maula's poetry. These Arab giant numbers, what are they proud of? Their poetry? Really? These are the things which were given to Rasulullah. That was the miracle which was awarded to Rasulullah. Please give me a salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Thank you very much. I'm still on schedule. All right. Move forward. Prophet Muhammad's, his prophethood started before Prophet Adam, and it's going to go on even after them. So he will be there. So of course, the miracle which was given to him has to be there too. I'm going to go back to some of the verses from Quran. Quran has got 114 surahs. My personal favorite is Surah Najm, Surah number 53. So basically, I'm going to take some words, some passages from it, and keep going from there. So there is a word, Mawa. The symbol is a circle. Mawa means refuge. What is the best place to be between heaven and earth? Jannat. So Jannatul Mawa, the best refuge ever anybody can have. Jannatul Mawa is one of the titles of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. Cannot be restricted by just this. I have to look beyond. I have to look close to the horizons. I have to look on the planet itself. And Quran cries out, وَاشْرَقْتُ بِأَرْضِ نُورِ رَبِّهَا. Moon has got no shine of its own. It only shines because of the nur of the sun. Ayat says, وَأَشْرَقْتُ بِالْأَرْضِ نُورِ رَبِّهَا, which means that on the day of judgment, this earth will shine because of the nur of its master. This is where the title Abu Turab comes in. This is the meaning of Abu Turab. Give me a salawat, please.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
There is a word I want you guys to consider, to remember. Intiha. Intiha means upper limit. There is an artist, a painter. He makes very good paintings, but he has an upper limit. There is somebody who's any trade you want to call him. There's a race car driver, whatever. Everybody has got their upper limit, and after intiha, there is nothing for them. There is another word I want you to remember. Muntaha. Muntaha means there is no upper limit. Please keep that in mind. This word, I'm gonna leave you with this word for a few moments, and I'm gonna come back to you. Please give me a salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Guys, my young guys, you are my strength. You are my drive. If you will ask me 10 times, I will explain the following to you 10 times. Cannot get it the first time? Ask me the question in Q&A. If not, then ask me after the session. Surah number 20. Surah Taha. There is a documentation about when Hazrat Musa ﷺ was lost in the desert and he saw fire from a distance. And he went close to the fire. After this, Imam Muhammad Baqir ﷺ describes the story. What happened after this? Once Hazrat Musa ﷺ came close to the fire, what he saw was there was a bush which was supposedly burning on fire. Flames were emitting from the bush. But yet the bush was not on fire. When he approached close to the bush, the flames ignited even further, and then they approached Hazrat Musa ﷺ. He felt a bit fear, he moved backwards. Second time he again approached, the flames ignited, and then they wanted to get close to him. He felt fear, he moved backwards. The third time when that happened, Hazrat Musa gave up pretty much and he wanted to walk away, and then he heard the voice, and then after you know the rest of the story. The soft yellow flames were enough to burn the flesh of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. Again, I want to leave you this thought for one moment. I'm going to come back to the first and the second points in 1 second. Everybody knows the story of ascension, of Miraj. Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam was with the Prophet all this time, till the time a limit came, and Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam said that I cannot go any further than this. If I will make an attempt, my wings will burn. Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam is a nuri makhluk. He is a being of light. He is not a being of clay or fire. He is the best of all the angels. He is actually their leader. What was so intense which was able to burn the wings of Angel Jibreel? A nur which was even better than Hazrat Jibraeel's nur, because fire can't burn it. So there was only and only one thing which was able to burn, which had the capability to burn the wings of Hazrat Jibreel if there is a superior nur present at that time. The place where Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam said that I cannot approach, that place is called Sidra. And that's where it's said that there is a bush over there. Now come to the point which I gave you, the word Muntaha. Sidratul Muntaha. That is the nur of Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam, which has got no upper limit. That's why it enveloped the Sidra, that bush, and that's why that story is in the Quran for an example for us to understand who is Sidratul Muntaha actually. That was the reason that Jibreel was not able to approach that one point. So that is the title of Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam. He is the Sidratul Muntaha. Please give me a salam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Am I too hard on you guys? Everybody enjoyed it?
Yes.
I can't hear the salawat.
Allahumma salli ala
I can't hear it.
Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
That's better. I'm coming up to now my closing arguments because it's almost time to. So, coming up to Ascension. Ascension is Miraj, which the Prophet had. Before I go towards the Miraj, there are a few points which I needed to tell you. Karbala happened in 61 Hijrah. After Karbala, Yazid lived for another 3 years before he was perished. Once Yazid perished, the throne was seized by a person whose name was Marwan bin Hakam. For those of you who read Ziyarat-e-Ashura, you will see a name there, Marwan. That's the same person. Once Marwan perished, his son Abdul Malik bin Marwan seized the throne, became the so-called ruler. Of course, we have got nothing to do with him. But during the reign of Abdul Malik bin Marwan, their capital was in Damascus. A rundown mosque was there in Palestine, which is called Beit al-Maqdis. That's where people also say Qibla Awwal too. That mosque was rebuilt and it was expanded. And the name was given to that place of worship as Masjid al-Aqsa. Aqsa physically means the place of worship which is at the furthest corner. At that time, of course, Damascus was a little bit far to Palestine. Did they name it on purpose that it is so far, or did they came up with from the name from the Quran? That remains to be seen. But the thing is that do not confuse the name Masjid al-Aqsa with the name of the Quran Masjid al-Aqsa. I'm going to come back to that. These are two separate things. If somebody names himself Muhammad today, he doesn't become Muhammad. That's just a name. So, one thing. Now I'm going to come to Surah number 17. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I need a really loud salawat for the Prophet. Subhanallazi asra bi abdihi laylam. Allah is speaking. All praise to Allah, who took the most pious one, took in a night. Where? Where did he take him? Min al-Masjid al-Haram ila al-Masjid al-Aqsa al-Lazi. Masjid al-Haram, there is absolutely no doubt that it is Kaaba. So the journey starts from Kaaba to the furthest rooms of Allah's universe, Masjid al-Aqsa, to the last place of worship. That is not the Masjid al-Aqsa which we normally name about. These are two different things. Why did he took him there? I'm going to come back to that in one moment. So Hadith-e-Qissa was recited, and in Hadith-e-Qissa there is a particular point in which all of the Panchitan came under one Qissa, one chadar, one veil, and once their noors combined, even Angel Jibreel was not able to recognize them, who are these people. Second point which I want you to come to, which I hope that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said about himself that when there was nothing, there was no heaven, there was no earth, there was no Adam, there was no planet, there was nothing. We were there, we Panjitan were there. And we used to make saf, and we used to pray to Allah. That's what he said. So where is this place of worship then? That is at the furthest corner of Allah's universe. That is where Prophet had to go to. So I'm coming back to Surah number 17. Subhanallazi asra bi abdihi laylan min al-masjid al-haram ila al-masjid al-aqsa. Aqsa allazi. Everybody says, everybody wish. May God bless you. May God bless this house. May the force be with you. So, but everything is a may, is a wish. That something, it's a prayer, that this happened and that happens. Here, Allah is talking about that particular place of worship, that is, that mosque, which Allah is talking about. Barakna hawlahu. We have blessed the environment of this masjid, of this place. Where is this place? Bibi gives us a hint. In Surah Hadith-e-Qissa. It was her house. That's where it is. At the furthest reaches of Allah's universe. So this is where the Prophet's journey started from the Kaaba, and it went out to the last place of worship where Bibi's house is there, and happened. So this is where the ascension is. Now, coming back, why did Prophet go there? Again, Surah 17, it says about it. لِنُرِيَهُ مِنْ آيَاتِنَا. So that he will be able to see the Allah's ayats. That is where he went. Now I'm going to come back to chapter number 53, Surah Shams. Surah Najm, I'm sorry. Please give me a salawat. These are my closing lines. Prophet went from Masjid al-Kaaba, Baitullah, the Kaaba, all the way out to Sidrat al-Muntaha. Angel Jibreel said he cannot go any further. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam moved forward. There is no event in Quran, in history, in which Quran details minute by minute, moment by moment as to what happened. Except this one. That's why probably it's my favorite surah. As the Prophet approached the Sidratul Muntaha and he moved forward, now these are the private quarters, nobody else can come in here. Angel Jibreel is not there. I want to leave you for one moment. What is Wahi? Wahi is a very special message. The originator of the message is Allah Himself. The receiver of the message is a Masoom. It could be a prophet or it could be Panjitan, but the receiver of the message is a Masoom. The carrier is a masoom as well. That's why Wahi delivers used by Angel Jibreel. But at this point, Angel Jibreel is not here. So Quran is describing who was that person then. As Prophet come into the private rooms, Quran says, وَهُوَ بِالْأُفِقِ الْأَعْلَى. He was at a higher elevation. ذُو مَرَّةٌ فَاسْتَوَى. He descended and approached. Dana fatadalla, which means he came even closer. Fakana qaba qawsaini aw adna, which means that he was so close that he was at the distance of approximately 2 bows, which is less than 6 feet, you could say that. But then what happened? This he who's Quran talking about delivered the wahi to the Prophet. Who was that person? That was Amirul Mu'mineen. And why do we know this? Because once the ascension happened, the next day when Rasulullah came to the Masjid Kufa, Imam Ali said, are you going to detail what happened last night or am I going to do that? And Rasulullah said no, because Amirul Mu'mineen was present during Mi'raj in their particular quarter, so that's why he knew it. This is, in my opinion, the biggest virtue, the biggest blessing of Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam, that he was chosen to deliver the wahi from God to the Prophet in those private chambers. Salawat, please.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Alright, so this was the end of my part 1. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Alright, so I'm going to go to my part 2 now. Symbols. There are certain symbols which are good symbols. Similarly, there are certain symbols which are not so good symbols. I'm going to tell you about a symbol and you guys will tell me, is it good or bad? Punjab. Alam, is it a good symbol? Yes, it is. And it has got a whole story behind it. If I will put the crib in front of you, the jhula, is it good? You guys know all the story behind it. So these are positive symbols. The Zuljana, the Zulfiqar, these are all positive symbols. And you guys all know about that too. I want to identify one of these symbols which is negative. Come on. How many of you have seen this symbol before? How many of you have seen this symbol before? This is not a star of David.
Two squares.
It's in the mosque. It's like,
Absolutely. Thank you very much. The symbol, it's basically just 2 squares wrapped on top of each other. And what it makes is like an 8-pointed star. Somehow or the other, this symbol has penetrated amongst ourselves. You will see that on sajdagas, you will see them in mosques, you will see them on janamas and stuff like that. But what is it? Is it a positive symbol? Is it a negative symbol? What is it? Is it art? What is it? We must know because we are praying. The symbol is seen in different places. And here it is in Masjid Nabawi, the shrine of. But this symbol is also present in movies. This is a scene which I printed from a movie. Again, it's present on churches. How come it has got, is it Islamic? No. So why is it there then? If it's not there, we have to know. This symbol is even present in the cave of the seven sleepers in Jordan.
Oh, really? Wow.
It is before Islam. So why this symbol is there then? What does it have to do with us? Why we are praying on it? It's on our prayer rods. The symbol is there. It is before Islam. So what is it then? I told you if you look closely, it's just two squares wrapped up, and it's an 8-pointed star. This 8-pointed star is the symbol of Inanna, which is in the ancient religion, mother of humanity. It's a goddess, but do we have anything to do with goddesses? No. So last sentence for you guys is to just be careful, just know what these symbols are, and be careful that this has got nothing to do with us. All right, I'm a little bit ahead of time, so yeah. So give me a loud salawat. To recap, I've just very quickly, I've told you a little bit about Maula's leadership and swordsmanships and Maula's poetry, and then I told you about Jannat al-Mawa, I told you about Abu Turab, and I told you about Sidratul Muntaha. And then I told you a little bit about that this is the best blessing which Maula received, is that he was the bearer of the wahi from Allah to Prophet Muhammad in those private chambers where there was no one. And then I told you a little bit about the symbol. So this is the end of my session, and I'm here for Q&A. Give me a loud salawat, and that's the end. Okay, anyone questions?
The star you are talking about is also on Israeli flag. What is what?
Hold on.
I may be wrong. The Star of David. I mean, does it have any correlation with what you're talking about?
Star of David is actually not Star of David. They want you to know it's the Star of David. That's not the Star of David. I had another a session about Yajuj Majuj, and in that one I a little bit described about it. But that's supposedly the symbol which is on Israeli flag that has got 6 points. This particular one has got 8 points.
2 triangles instead of 2 squares.
Correct. And those triangles means everything different. Sir?
So Allah himself talked to Ali about giving the wahi to Prophet Muhammad.
You see, thank you very much. There is a particular thing, there's a process which is called as a protocol. There was no need, absolutely no need for Angel Jibreel to bring the wahi from Allah to the Prophet. But Prophet is so far high up, he is the best of Allah's bande or Allah's piousness or pious. So that's why the protocol existed for Allah to say bring the wahi to Prophet Muhammad. It was a similar process. Quran, Surah number 53, Awha ma awha, abadahi ma awha, which means that the wahi was delivered. So yes, that's correct. Allah was, that Imam Ali Maulai Kainat was instructed to deliver this wahi. That's right. Now, what is the process? Does Allah speak directly to Prophet Muhammad or to Imam Ali or to Angel Jibreel? I don't know about that. There must be, sir.
The wahis, as you mentioned, wahis are to the prophets.
Correct.
Do they also are addressed to Masumin?
That is also a very good question. In Surah Maryam, Surah number 19, there are certain things, and it's also in Surah Taha, the receiver of the wahi has to be Masum. So yes, that's correct. It could be, I'm not so sure that this is going to happen, but the receiver of the wahi has to be a Masum. So does wahi came to Imam Hussain Islam? I don't know about that, but of course he was Masum, so it could be. The receiver has to be Masum, please.
You asked something in the beginning of the lecture, before the beginning of the lecture about Kaaba. I didn't get the question. Like, the floor of the Kaaba came up, or I mean, I'm not clear because what we have heard that the door of Kaaba got shut, like it opened and Bibi Anna went in. I didn't get it. Like it came up or it came down.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bibi Fatma.
Yeah. If you imagine, just for one moment, if you imagine Kaaba, people say Kaaba is a cube. It is not a cube, but let's say just for the sake of discussion, it has got 4 walls.
Yeah.
Of course, if it has got 4 walls, it must be having a floor.
Yes.
That floor of Kaaba is not on ground level. That floor has got an elevation of approximately 6 feet higher than the ground. There are stairs, you have to go up the stairs in order to open the door of Kaaba and then go in. So that floor itself, Kaaba, is approximately 6 feet higher. At that particular time, Bibi Fatma binti Asad, when she approached, the wall gave way of the Kaaba so that she can enter. But how did she enter? How did she climb the stairs? Because there was no stairs, 6 feet higher. So which one came down? Did the Kaaba came down on her level, or did the ground elevated so that she can enter?
So what's the answer?
What?
Do you know the answer?
I'm going to leave that to you.
This is not the
Scrapped
Kaaba.
at the lower
This
level.
is not the original Kaaba which was at that time. At that time, it has been demolished so many times, and now this has been rebuilt so many times.
But the floor
So
is
I don't know about the floor, but
Not
this
even the
is not
floor.
the original.
When they destroyed it completely.
It was completely
So
demolished.
whenever we say now 6 feet,
Yeah,
it's something modern
Yes.
made. It's not related to
it's
that time.
not that time.
So at that time, whatever was the Salman, where is that we have that corner, which has a miracle by itself. That
Yes.
if you know that
Yeah.
the special metal
Yes.
places
Yeah.
which they tried, they could not fix. That is what we believe in the reason.
But that's at the ground level.
But it's
Yeah,
the
it's
ground
on the
level.
ground
It's not
level,
right.
And
Yes.
at that time, maybe it was built
It
on
was
the
built
ground.
on the ground, yes.
level. Now
If
it
you
is.
see the old pictures of Kaaba
Yes.
from 1800s, you
It's
almost
on
see
the ground.
that on the ground. Little bit higher, not 6
a
feet.
little bit higher, right? Yeah. So, any more questions, anyone, or should we call it a session? Any more questions?
Allah.
I want everybody for Dua Imam Zaman to please stand and raise your hands for prayers. And everybody, please, on your loud voices, please come up. Please say it. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma kulli nabiyyika sallallahu alayhi wa ala fi hadhihi wa fi kulli waliyan wa hafizan wa qaidan wa nasiran wa dalilan wa aina hatta تسكنه أرزك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
متوجه زيارت please. متوجه زيارت.
السلام عليكم يا